to former Republican Virginia Governor Jim Gilmore. Governor, good to have you. What do you think of where this goes here and what we do if true to form, the North Koreans conduct a test at or around the time of the Olympics?
Well, I think that we probably add more sanctions and probably squeeze them even harder than we're squeezing them now. We're not only squeezing them economically, we're squeezing their allies in China, but we're also putting military assets into the area, aircraft carriers, airplanes, and the North Koreans have to respond to that, which they don't have any money, Neil.
But they never have, right? We've been doing this one administration. They're the most sanctioned country on the planet. What's going on?
Exactly, and that's why they're even doing this nuclear program, because they're trying to level the playing field through nuclear weapons. But the key point is the president and his staff have made it very clear we're just not going to put the United States at risk here. So either they're going to respond to a squeezing and sanctions regime, or there's the potential for military action. But right now we're seeing a decisive foreign policy of the President of the United States, which we did not see in the past administration.
Well, what's decisive about comparing nuclear button sizes?
Well, look, as my friend Van Hipp said, he's getting into the head, I think, of Kim Jong Un.
Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah, but
no, I don't mean to trivialize it, but I guess what I'm asking, Governor, is what would be a decisive response here? In other words, if they launch a missile and we shoot it down, that I would assume the North would call a provocative move, if not an act of war. Would you?
First of all, on the button, the president is just simply pushing back and making it clear we're not going to be bullied. The second thing is with respect to a missile.
Would you do that, Governor? If you were president, would you do that?
You could say something like that, but
you would never say that, Governor. Come on.
Well, look, if the goal here is to communicate to everybody in the world we're not going to be pushed around by a punk, then you say something like that. But the main point is this. The missile test is a provocation, and we just have to keep saying, if you're going to keep on doing these kinds of provocations, we're the ones that have the military assets, the economic assets.
No, I understand everything you're
saying,
Governor. No, believe me, and I have great respect for you and the office of the presidency. I guess what I'm worried about is when it's one thing to say these sort of flippant comments to someone in the media, myself included. But it's quite another when you're playing with fire in the middle of what could be a potential war. You got to be careful, don't you?
Listen, I think this. I think that you have to be decisive. I think that you have to make it real clear that the United States is not somebody to be pushed around, that we're very serious about our policy on this, and that we will do what's necessary. And frankly, our policy right now is pretty moderate, Neil. What we're really doing is saying that we're trying to handle this through sanctions and economic pressure as opposed to military action. But I think our message is crystal clear. We're not going to allow the people of the United States be put in jeopardy by somebody like North Korea. Furthermore, our allies are in danger. In fact, I think the whole political play here is to try to separate out the South Koreans and the Japanese from America and the Western alliance. Yeah. That's what the nuclear weapons are intended to do. I don't think the United States is going to abandon our allies or allow ourselves to be put into that kind of position.
We shall see, Governor. Happy New Year. Thank you very, very much.
Happy New Year to you, Neil.